In this match, we have Andy and Kascper, two of our blue belts. Both fairly experienced. Kasper's a newer blue belt. Andy's quite a bit more experienced in the competition front. That's a nicer sweep attempt there from Andy. Back standing, then he goes for a Seoinage. Very nice recovery on the Seoinage. Kascper needs to create some space because Andy's trying to set up a cross choke of some description. And if he's not careful, he's going to end up giving up the position, giving up the submission rather. He's doing a fairly decent job of moving. Nice back attempt by Andy. He's tried that before. He tried it in the Luke video recently. He's been working on that. But there's nice defense from Kascper. Here we go, setting up a collar choke again. I think it's a variation of the baseball bat choke, which is one of Andy's favorites. Kasper's doing a good job of defending. What he needs to do, though, is be more active. It's something I've talked to him before about. He's very defensive. He's got good defense. He just needs to be more active. Otherwise, people will just do what Andy's just done and move around him, get mount, and then start attacking. He's left himself out of position so that his elbow is quite high, which means Andy can then attack with the arm triangle, which is something I like to do from there. It's a very, very good attack. Nice windscreen wipe with the legs. But he's probably not going to finish this. He'll go for a back take or something like that, which is sensible. Very nice sit out, back take, get both hooks in, maintain that control on the back. Kascper needs to start putting his shoulders to the floor immediately, otherwise he's just going to get caught with a choke, because at the moment Andy's in full control. He looks like he's trying to set up a bow and arrow choke, but Kasper's doing a good job of defending. Now, at this point, he can switch to an armbar, but Andy did the wise thing and chose to maintain back control. In competition, it would be better to maintain back control rather than go for the armbar and risk losing everything. That way, he can still point and he can still catch the bow and arrow later when he sets it up better. As you can see, he's going for it again. This time it's much deeper. He's got hold of the leg and we get a tap. Part of the problem with what Kascper was doing is he wasn't defending and countering as soon as the techniques were there. He knows they're there. He just is a bit late on reversing the position. He's a bit content to be there and just hold. At this point, he needs to push the legs past and flatten Andy out a little bit. Otherwise, Andy will do what he's doing now, which is coming back to guard. And then Kasper's got a whole lot of work ahead of him to try and pass Andy's legs. But Kasper's going to sit down. That was a mistake. If I was Kascper, I would have stayed kneeling. I would have tried to fight there. But Kascper gave him the sweep. And now a pass, which is not great for Kascper. I think Andy's got a deep collared grip on, which he let go. But I think he caught him with something on the far side, which I can't see very well. That's the problem. Kascper should have hooked the leg and made it difficult for the pass. Because he didn't, it allowed Andy to just do what he liked. Now, this is something I've talked to Andy about. He lets he's good at letting people that he's beating play from different positions, which is a great training tool. I do the same thing myself. So he's working his turtle guard against Kascper, and Kasper's attacking. Part of the problem with what Kascper is doing is a lot of times he'll be on both knees, which means there's very little pressure on Andy to count, to think about what he's doing. So Andy can just take his time, think about it. Like at the moment, he's got a wrist lock from side control, very unorthodox wrist lock, which he gets a tap from. Kascper could have countered that, but he waited, he delayed. Kasper's very good. He just needs to be a bit more active with things. Once again, he's given up turtle. so that Kasper can fight. And I think the video will end there.